Friends, someone has rightly said that make a relationship with a good person more than good times, because a good person can bring good times, but remember, good times cannot bring back a good person in your life. Friends, today's story is going to be very informative. You are requested to watch the video till the end. Once upon a time, a man lived in a village. That man lived alone in his small hut. That man was very lazy. He did not do any work. He was completely idle and useless. He was always in search of such an opportunity to get food from somewhere, so one day when that man was wandering in search of food, he saw a mango garden. He was hungry for many days. That is why he goes inside the garden in search of food. He goes and sees that there were many different trees in the garden, so he climbs a tree. As soon as he is about to pluck the fruit, suddenly the owner of the garden comes there and sees that man climbing the tree, and he gets angry and shouts at the man to come down. But this man gets scared after seeing the owner of the garden and refuses to come down. The owner of the garden goes inside and brings a big stick. Seeing this, the man immediately comes down from the tree, and before the owner reaches him, he quickly comes down from the tree and starts running towards the forest and becomes silent after going to the forest. After some time, that lazy man leaves from there, and when he was going towards the village through the forest, he sees a fox, which had only 2 legs, and 2 of its legs were broken. It was walking in the forest ringing. After seeing this, he thinks that how is this fox still alive in this dense forest? This fox cannot run away. If she cannot walk, how will she arrange for food for herself, and how will this fox protect itself from other animals in this dense forest? The man was thinking about this when suddenly he heard the sound of someone coming from behind the bushes. Then a lion comes there with a piece of meat in its mouth. And that lion was moving towards that handicapped fox. Seeing the lion, all the other animals run away from there, and now only the fox is left there. And from there the man climbs a tree to save his life, and then seeing what happens, the man is surprised and leaves him in front of the fox, and the lion goes away from there. After seeing this scene, the man is surprised, and seeing the plan of the God, he also becomes happy in his heart, and then he thinks that God has some plan for everyone, and if God has a plan for this fox, then he must have some plan for me too. And that man goes a little further from there. Then that lazy man sees a big tree on the side of the road and sits under it, thinking that someone will definitely bring food for me too. That man sits and waits at that place for 2 days, but no one brings food for him. Finally, when he cannot bear the hunger, he himself sets out in search of food. He was going on the road when he meets an old man on the way. That lazy man tells him that I am hungry. If you have something to eat, then give it to me. Then that old man gives him some food and water. After eating food, that man tells that old man that you will not believe what I saw 2 days ago. God must have some plan for me too, but God showed his mercy on that fox and not on me. No one brought food for me. Then that old man said smilingly, "It is true that God definitely has some plan for everyone, and for you too. But you understood it in the wrong way. He wanted to make you not a fox, but like that lion." Friends, we learn from this story that if we look at our life carefully, we will know that life is full of lessons, and every moment has a deep meaning and thought that the fox is just sitting. And she is just waiting for when something good will happen to her. But that man forgot that the fox was helpless. But we are not helpless, and helpless like that fox. God has given us the ability to do our work, just like that lion. We also have our own strength and ability to change our condition, but for that you will have to make efforts. Only then you will be able to become like that lion. Once upon a time there was a king in a kingdom. He had a loyal minister. The king's minister was very intelligent. He often used to say that whatever happens, happens for good. Once the king was sitting on his throne. The minister was also sitting next to him. Suddenly, the minister's sword fell on the king's foot, and one of his toes got cut. Then the minister said, "King, whatever happens, happens for good." The king got very angry on hearing this. He asked the minister that my finger got cut, and you are saying that it happened for good. What is good in this? The king got angry and ordered the minister to be imprisoned. The minister did not feel any sorrow about this, and while going to jail, he again told the king that whatever happens, happens for good. The king was surprised to hear this. He thought what a strange person this is. He is going to jail, and he is saying that whatever happens, happens for good. Now 3 months had passed since this incident. One day the king went hunting on horses with his soldiers. They all went inside a dense forest. The king went further into the dense forest chasing a deer and got separated from his soldiers. Although he could not catch the deer, he lost his way and got lost in the dense forest. When the king realized that he had come too far, he started looking for a way out of the forest. Suddenly, the king was surrounded by a group of tribals living in that forest. The tribe of those tribals was in the king's kingdom, and neither did they recognize the king. So they caught the king and took him to their tribe. Those tribals were looking for a person whom they could kill and sacrifice to please their god. The king was pleading them to leave him. But those tribals did not understand the king's language. They started playing drums in joy. They brought the king to their tribe, dressed him in new clothes, put a garland of flowers around his neck, and prepared him for the sacrifice. Just at the time when they were about to kill the king, the chief of the Kabila saw that one of the king's toes was cut. Seeing this, he ordered all the drummers and stopped the king from being sacrificed, and said that this man cannot be sacrificed because he is incomplete, and if an incomplete man is sacrificed, the gods will get angry instead of being happy. So they decided to release the king. The king happily returned to his palace from the forest. Coming back, he thought that if one of my toes had not been cut, those tribals would have killed me today. This means the minister was right. Whatever happened was for good. The king immediately ordered the soldiers to take the minister out of the jail. He gave the minister back his ministerial position and asked the minister to tell me that my finger was cut that day and it happened for my good. I understand this, but you remained in jail for 3 months, and you had to suffer so much. Very bad things happened to you. The minister smiled and said, "King, I was your prime minister, and I always stayed with you. If I was not in jail, I would have been with you that day too, King. Seeing your cut finger, they left you, but my body was whole, and if I had been with you, they would have definitely sacrificed me. So it was good that I was not with you that day and I was in jail. This saved your life and my life too. That is why I always say that whatever happens is good." Friends, if we look at our life, we will find that sometimes such a time comes in our life too. When we feel that something very bad is happening to us, or it should not have happened, but after some time if we look back, we feel that whatever happened at that time happened for good. Actually, we try to see every incident with our intelligence, but in reality, our intelligence is also limited. We cannot assess the right or wrong of any incident with our limited intelligence. The whole world is based on karma. The one who does good deeds gets happiness, and the one who does bad deeds gets sorrow. So if you are going through a sad phase, always remember that your bad karma is being cut off, and nature is taking you towards progress all the time by giving you the fruits of your bad karma. This universe is not created by our enemies, so nothing can go wrong in this world. So remove this thought from your mind, because something bad can happen to you, and always remember that sometimes whatever happens for good. We hope that you have learned a lot from this story. How did you like this story? Please do let us know by commenting in the comment box. Thanks for watching.